Hello, thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Alvin Curry, and I always just love the opportunity to come to you and talk to you about finances, how it works, building wealth, how it works, and just have a conversation about this. So a few weeks ago, a few videos ago, we talked about myself, Alvin Curry. I am the CEO, I'm the chairman and co-founder of a company called myEcon. And I told you I've been in networking now since 1986. I've been with many different companies, and I always had a measure of success in every company. I was able to go into networking in 1988. I was 30 years old with a wife and three children, and I've never had a job since that. So I've always been able to make good money in networking. So I assumed at that time, early days of my career, that everybody was able to do what I was able to do because that's what the company's presentation would say. Oh, it's easy, it's simple, great products. It's easy. Get one on the left and one on the right, and it's going to sell itself. I believe all that. And someone may go back and find an old MP3 of me saying that back in the 90s or early 2000s when I actually believed that. But I no longer believe that. And for that reason, in 2005, we started a company called myEcon. It's short for My Economy. Now, I've been talking to you about how to choose your economy. But today I want to just kind of talk really briefly about myEcon. You see this in the background. We are the personal financial success company. So I want to talk to you today really briefly about why myEcon exists. Well, myEcon exists to build income for life. Now, all of us know that somewhere in our early 20s, we're going to have to go out and find a job and become an adult and take care of ourselves. So in this example, I'm going to use a person that has an income of $75,000 because that's what's called the median household income in America today. So that $75,000 a year job is broken up into 12 equal payments where you're going to have taxes come out of your check and to the tune of roughly 25%, perhaps as much as 30%, depending on what state you live in and how much the state income taxes are. You got Social Security and Medicare taxes, you got federal income taxes, have unemployment taxes, and then, of course, in some states, state taxes. So when I subtract 25% from that, that's going to leave me $4,700. Well, the problem in America is when you go out to purchase a home, do you buy a home based on the gross income or do you buy a home based on the net? Well, I happen to have worked in the mortgage industry for a number of years, been a mortgage banker and a mortgage broker. I can tell you, we always finance the home based on gross income. Gross income of $75,000 is going to get you into financial ruins. Here's why. Because if you bring $4,700 home, that's only $56,000. $56,000 will not pay the bills for a $75,000 lifestyle. When I got in business, you heard me say this in some of the earlier videos, in 1988, I went full-time in business. Now I was making full commission, but they didn't take any taxes out of my check. So I learned something very different at that point. There is no law that requires anyone to take taxes out of your check. There is no law that requires you to even pay taxes. The law does require you to file taxes. The law does say if you make an income, you owe taxes. But the law gives you something called tax deductions. It gives you credits towards your taxes and also gives you business expenses that you can also use or adjustments to your income. And when your credits, deductions, and adjustments are equal to or greater than the taxes you will owe no taxes. Many multimillionaires, even billionaires, has been reported that they paid little to no taxes because you've heard them say they have something called loophole. So they pay very little in taxes because the laws of the land says if you own a business, you can get these deductions. So 95% of Americans go out and they get a job. Right now, unemployment is under 5% in America. So we know 95% of the people are working doing something to take care of themselves and their family. So that 95% of the people have got a job or a business of some type. Well, here's the problem. By the time we reach retirement age, those numbers flip. According to the US Census Bureau, only 5% of the people in America have enough income to replace their working income in retirement. So if I use my $75,000 example, now I'm going to need 10 to 20 times $75,000 in working and income producing assets in order to retire. 10 times 75,000 is a $750,000 portfolio. 20 times that is $1.5 million in a retirement portfolio. What do you mean, Al, when you say retirement portfolio? Your 401k, your 403b, your thrift savings account, your IRA. Ask yourself in the first person, when I retire, who is going to provide $1 million portfolio for me to maintain my lifestyle that I desire without me having to go to work? See, if you quit working, the income quit coming in. Now, how do you get that? Well, you're going to need, I believe in this example, I believe you need at least $1.5 million in a retirement portfolio and at a 5% return on investment. Now that will give you $75,000 a year. That's $75,000 a year on that return on investment. Now you hear people use the word interest, but it's actually the word is return on investment. You have a 401k, you have mutual funds, stocks, bonds, whatever they are, at 5% return. Now that's $75,000 a year. That replaces your working income. And if you're disciplined and stay only on the return, spend only the return on investment, you can do what the Bible says. A good man, Alvin Curry, leaves his inheritance for his children's children. So I can leave that $1.5 million and my children will not have to start over. They can then have a portfolio of $1.5 million. If they only spent the 5% of that a year, which is the return on investment, they would then be able to live at a $75,000 a year lifestyle. Now, if they're working that $75,000, just supplement their lifestyle. They can pass it on to their children. See, then the families are not starting over every generation. So when we teach our children to go out and get good jobs, well, if you got a good job and you work 40 years, when you retire, in most cases, your children can't take over your job. So they have to start from the bottom up. So ask yourself in the first person, right now, am I making all the money I need to make to live the lifestyle I want to live? And when I retire, do I have in place a portfolio that will replace my working income and allow me to live and maintain the lifestyle I desire in retirement? If the answer to either of these questions is no, we should have a conversation, because God has blessed me over the now almost 40 years I've been in business to help thousands of people become millionaires or build what we call personal financial success. So if you want to know the difference in how all of that works, let's at least have a conversation. It won't cost you a thing to have a conversation with me. Go to my website, trustalvincurry.com. Follow me on LinkedIn and DM me, and then we can have a conversation. We can take it from there, and you can understand why we're different. What makes us different than all the other companies and all the other money managers, money coaches, all of the influencers, and everyone out here is telling you that they are going to show you how to impact your life. I am an absolute believer in the Word of God. And I believe the Bible teaches us spiritually what we should do. But myEcon teaches you physically how to add to that what you must do in the physical. So now we take the physical side and the spiritual side and put them together, and we have the supernatural. You can be a millionaire. All you have to do is reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Thank you for your time.